Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to Between the Ropes, and there's Ace. So
I am here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and of course, I'm joined tonight by the usual guys that we have. And of course, I'll go ahead and start out with Mr. Crispy Bacon. How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
You know what? Can't complain at all. And even if I did, no one would listen anyway. All right, and then of course, go ahead and welcome in Mr. He's not a dragon, he's not a viper, but he goes by Mr. Dragon Viper. How's it going tonight?
Better now that you came on the screen, because I wasn't ready to start this off. But other than that, I'm doing okay. Let's get this going.
You could have been able to handle it. You would have been just fine, dude. You would have been just fine. But anyway. You know, we actually have a lot to talk about tonight because, you know, normally we sit here and we talk about, you know, a little bit of Raw, a little bit of SmackDown, but that's not actually what we're doing tonight. Tonight, we're actually talking a little Survivor Series and talking about how all that went down and even talking about that. And we're going to even talk about the pre-show match. How about that? The good old pre-show.
Yeah.
That it ended up being, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura against good old Damian Priest here. And so when you think about this match that happened on the pre-show with Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura, I was thinking about this the other day. You know that Shinsuke Nakamura has only defended his title 3 times since he's been champion?
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it's only been 3 times since. But I'll go ahead and start out with Dragon Viper. So Dragon Viper, what did you think of the pre-show match anyway?
I thought it was good, you know. I mean, Damian Priest is definitely showing a different side of himself, you know, and I'm liking it more, you know. And I liked him enough, but now that he's showing this new brutal side of himself, I'm really enjoying it. So it was great. It was a great match to start out with, I thought.
It was a great match, but with the way that the ending was, I just didn't like that it was in a disqualification type thing. That's what really bugged me about it, is that you break his guitar. And I understand that they're trying to make, you know, Damian Priest look like a bad guy, because I think that eventually they're going to make him a heel. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that eventually they're going to turn him heel, and that's what it was. But we definitely are seeing this brand new side of Damian Priest that people are not used to seeing. That's for sure. But I just think that the whole thing with the way that the pre-show match ended, it could have ended without a disqualification, because I wanted Priest and Nakamura to go at it for a while, actually.
It would have been nice if it didn't end in a disqualification, but
yeah, I didn't want it to end like that either.
Yeah.
All right. So Crispy Bacon, how about you tell us, you know, what was your thoughts on the pre-show match?
The pre-show match was good. I like seeing Damian Priest and, you know, Shinsuke with Boogs out there. I thought, you know, that was entertaining, and you know, Pat McAfee doing his thing, and you know, overall the match was good until the ending when Priest decided to, you know, reportedly turn heel. Other than that, you know, it was a good match. I just didn't like the ending.
So we have comments coming in here. We have Christy Wilson here, William Hudson's here, Brandon's here, Imy's here. They're all here. They're all asking about the egg and stuff, which we will definitely get to at some point during the show. But how about we go ahead and jump right into it? Because the first things first here, the original news came out that said that the Divas were going to actually go ahead and actually main event the show, but it completely changed, and they actually kicked off the show. So our first match of the regular show was actually Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, which in the end we saw Becky Lynch winning by putting her foot on the ropes and getting, the whole roll-up win with Charlotte Flair and winning like that. So with that, Crispy Bacon, what'd you think of that match? What'd you think of the finish and everything else?
I think that could have been a main event match. It was that good, I think. There's a controversial end at the end, finish at the end. But I mean, it was back and forth. Charlotte had a few points where she could have won it. Becky had a few points where she could have won it early on in the match. It just went back and forth, and it seemed like it was, and it probably wasn't, but it seemed like all the aggression was real. And I've heard reports that, those two, they used to be friends and now they're not. And I think they're just getting out a lot of frustration. But overall, it was a great match, and I could see it being a main event match.
Well, there is actual beef with them right now. There's actual heat backstage on them right now. So, man, what do we got going on here? So we got Lou saying, yes, go Becky. We also have Christy Wilson saying Becky was dressed in what looked like a dominatrix outfit. That is true. But Dragon Viper, do you like the way that this match ended with the typical, Becky Lynch taking Charlotte, getting the roll up, having her foot on the ropes? Now, this one, I do agree, though. This one could have been a main event match, and it actually should have. This should have been a main event match, which originally when they switched it and they put this match as the leadoff and then said, okay, Roman and Big E are going to a main event, that's when I thought something was going to happen. I was like, something's up. Something's up. Somebody's going to return. Something's going to happen. And it just turns out that we just never got that. But anyways, so Dragon Viper, what was your thoughts on the Becky and Charlotte match?
I thought it was a good match. I didn't care for the ending. I like the fact Becky won because, I like Becky way more than Charlotte. And so I'm, glad to see that Becky won, but in the fashion that it happened, I mean, come on, how many people are going to do roll-ups and controversial finishes in one night? I don't know. I'm happy that Becky won. I'm just not real thrilled on how it was done. So
that's all right. All right. So anyway, so when you look at this match between Becky and Charlotte, what would you guys have graded this match? Because I'll tell you what, throughout this match, though, you could tell that they definitely wanted to basically kill each other throughout this match. Like, you could definitely tell. So you could definitely tell that there was some sort of heat between them backstage, that you're like, we don't like each other, so that's why we're legitimately destroying each other right now. And this was definitely a very, very good match. So I think I would definitely agree with Christy Wilson on this one when she says A-, because I definitely think you can go that far and say A-.
Yeah, you could go A+, A-. Either way, it was a grade of, it was a high grade, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then William Hudson is also saying, quote by the Dragon Viper, I didn't care for it. Absolutely. That's his typical quote.
I did, though. I did care about this match. So, I mean, it was really good.
It should have been a main event. And I think
and then Christy Wilson is also saying roll-ups are seriously lame. They are. Well, they wouldn't be as bad if they were not so common is a thing. Like, since if they were not overused, it wouldn't be so bad, but because they're so overused, that's why the roll-up becomes so lame. But how about we jump to the next match, which was the actual 5-on-5 prototypical men's Survivor Series elimination match. And I'll tell you, this match was actually really, really good. I kind of figured once it came down to Seth Rollins and Jeff Hardy, I kind of figured that Seth Rollins was going to win it, even though I felt like Hardy needed this win more. Seth Rollins didn't really need this win. I know that right now he's kind of like getting this huge major push. He's already the number one contender. He's going to get a title shot against Big E coming up. but I feel like Jeff Hardy could have really used this win because he just got put to SmackDown. But is it me, or does it seem like they might be kind of giving Jeff Hardy a little bit of a push here? That they might actually end up, because he's on SmackDown, and since they left him as like the solo survivor of SmackDown, it kind of seems like they might give him a little bit of a push. But Dragon Viper, when you look at this 5-on-5 elimination match, and let's not forget what happened at the very beginning, when Kevin Owens basically just walked out on his team and said, "Nope, fine," and just walked out. They set that up perfectly. They are playing Kevin Owens' character perfectly right now, and I like it. You know, you had McIntyre and Lashley who ended up getting a double count out, so they got eliminated like that. Who would have thought that Austin Theory, of all people, would have been one of the last two left on the Raw team? Which I told you, man. I told you when I did my fantasy bookings and put him in the main event at the NXT Championship, people were questioning why. I was like, I'm telling you, dude, he's actually good, and people are overlooking Austin Theory. And people are overlooking him. Like, he actually is talented. All right, Dragon Viper, go ahead.
You know, here's the thing. Austin Theory, they are trying to give him a push. I don't know why. I mean, he had a couple good moves that I saw, but you know, I don't know why. Anyway, the match overall, it was good. You know, I give it a B, but and you're right. I actually agree with you on something. Seth Rollins didn't really need this win. Jeff Hardy needed it. I understand that you know, Jeff Hardy's trying to, you know, get everybody, you know, up there and help everybody out, but you know, and we've discussed this, we've talked about this, you know, Jeff's getting up there in age. And so, but he, you know, I would like to see him win a little bit more and get more of a push before he ends up being done. So, I mean, you know, overall the match was good. It was interesting that they took the two big guys in that match and just made a double count out of that. And yeah, and you know, Austin Theory being, you know, the last two of SmackDown, just it kills me. The bigger guys ended up leaving, and he was still in that match. That irritates me because he's so terrible. So.
Well, you pretty much had to do a double count out with the big guys. The only reason you had to is because there really wasn't anybody else in the match that could have really realistically beat Drew and realistically beat Bobby. Yeah, maybe. But realistically, you would have had like one big guy on each team. So what's the better way of doing it? Because then if you don't eliminate them, then you're like, oh, I wonder who's going to be left. You know, you kind of figured it was going to come down between Bobby and Drew, which I'm actually glad it came down to Seth and Jeff. You know, I'm a fan of both of them. I think they're both very talented. But let's get to a few comments here that Christy Wilson saying, can we talk about Seth Rollins' jacket? Did he borrow it from Becky? It looked like something she would wear. Hey, his jacket was awesome. Anything that Seth Rollins has been wearing as of late has been killer, man. It has been absolutely awesome. Yeah. And then William Hudson is saying Austin Theory equals awful.
Yep.
And then Christy Wilson saying Theory's a dope. Yep. And Amy saying I don't care for Austin Theory.
The character might grow on me, but I'm not a fan right now.
He will. Trust me, he will. All right. So, Crispy Bacon, what did you think of this Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match?
No, it was a good series. I mean, I think they're doing good with Kevin Owens' character. Maybe they're looking at an extension, and I'm just guessing here, at an extension if he, you know, does what they're looking for and all that, and maybe, you know, gets a championship out of it or written off his storyline for it. I don't know. And yeah, you know, the whole double count out, it's to be expected. I kind of think they're pushing Seth Rollins and Jeff Hardy with their respective brands. Maybe at some point we'll see it, down, in a pay-per-view down the line or something, or even WrestleMania. I don't know. But it was a good match overall.
Yeah, what I really liked about it though too is that you didn't have one of those. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, Survivor Series, when Raw had like every remaining guy left. They didn't lose anybody, and SmackDown like lost everybody. So I'm just glad that this wasn't like such a lopsided match to where you had Raw just come in to destroy everybody, or
Thank
SmackDown
God.
come in and destroy everybody. Huh?
I said, thank God that they didn't, because that irritates me. That doesn't make it
Or you
any
have like 3 survivors
exciting.
Raw, or whatever.
Yeah, but the way they do it, when you usually have like one person left on each, it's perfect. That's the way it should be, because it's supposed to be an elimination match. So it's supposed to be set up like that. It's supposed to be good. And Lou saying, can you imagine Seth against Lashley? I actually think that it might actually be a pretty good match, only because I've seen, we've seen Seth be able to beat, Roman and Brock Lesnar before, and so I definitely think that would be a good match also. And then I'm saying I hope Austin Theory goes back from where he came from. He is annoying. So he actually came from NXT, but he's not going back to NXT. He's on the main roster to stay. But all right, so we can actually jump into that next one, which is the 25-man Battle Royal. Now, when this started, I had completely forgotten that Omos was actually in this match. If I would have remembered that Omos was in this match, I would have said that Omos is definitely going to win it. We had, I think Brandon Herrera actually picked Aziz. There he is right there. Speaking of Brandon Herrera. So he read my mind. So like the minute I mentioned Brandon Herrera, he pops up on the screen. So there's JB right there.
Well, I heard you guys are calling for a genius, so I thought I'd pop on quick.
If I do remember right, didn't you say Commander Aziz? If I do remember right, because I for one forgot.
I did say Commander Aziz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say Commander Aziz was going to win the Rumble or Battle Royal, whatever it's called.
Did you remember that Omos was in this match? Because I actually forgot.
I actually forgot too. I was trying to look to see, and kind of glimpsed at the. I even forgot Shanky was in there. Randy's next favorite guy. So
Shanky.
I'm glad the big guy won. Omos probably needed it. So
he did. He definitely did. But I mean, obviously, when it came down to Omos and Ricochet, I mean, I think you kind of knew what the heck was going to happen at that point.
Actually, when it came down to them two, and Ricochet kind of like baited them into, or whipped them into the ropes, or baited them in, I thought maybe they were going to let Ricochet win it.
Well,
but once he didn't go over, I knew Omos was going to win.
It's also known in Royal Rumble and Battle Royal history that most of the time the big guys don't even win, and if it's set a small guy with a big guy, most of the time the small guy wins because they're baited over the ropes or something like that. So
yeah, really,
it was anybody's match. Really,
yeah, really. When you think about the big guys though winning, when you had the greatest Royal Rumble of all, and Braun Strowman won that one as the big guy. That was when they were in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Yeah. So
even Andre Battle Royal. I mean, Sheamus won the first one. I think Big Show won the second one. Corbin might have been the one that won it the third time, and I mean he was a smaller guy, so typically Battle Royals are won by the big guys.
Yeah, but that's why I was looking at this and I was like, dang, I forgot that Omos was in this match, or I would have picked Omos. That's why when I was trying to look at the picture and I was like, who's in it? Who's in it? And I was trying to like blow up the picture. I'm like, And I was trying to look at everybody. I'm like, I don't have a clear winner. And then once I saw Omos enter, I'm like, oh, I was like, dang it. I was like, it's gonna be Omos.
There's my winner.
Yeah, I was like, yes, it was gonna be Omos.
So what I missed so far, guys? What you guys already break down?
We talked about Becky Lynch and Charlotte. We talked
Good
about
match.
the pre-show with Nakamura. And
I didn't catch that
Damien Priest.
match. So
Well, that match actually ended in a disqualification when
yeah,
Damien
I did
Priest-
read that.
Okay,
I did
okay.
read that.
And then we talked about the elimination match on the men's side.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird one there. I thought Owens getting eliminated by himself, walking out on him. So that's going to set up a storyline there, and then Sheamus at the end there, double crossing Jeff Hardy. So we'll see where that goes. I think that was a pretty decent match too.
It was.
I know Randy probably thought they were all boring so far. So
And we were just agreeing that we were glad that Jeff Hardy was was one of the last ones out there. I was just glad that Jeff Hardy didn't get eliminated super fast.
yeah, I mean, but you're right with Theory. He's got to just, go. I think he's going to be that one guy that's kind of, a nuisance to everybody. I don't think he's going to get along with anybody, or nobody's going to like him. So.
Yeah, Shanky. So Christy Wilson, I was saying Shanky was in the Battle Royal. Yes, he was. Shanky was there. And William Hutt saying, out of the shadows, Big B appears. And Christy was saying, I wanted Ricochet to win. I think there was a lot of us who wanted Ricochet to win, but it was the fact of I think we knew he wasn't going to win once he was going against Omos. And then Amy was saying me too. She wanted Ricochet to win also. So Dragon Viper, what do you think of the Battle Royal?
Overall, I mean, it was good, and there were points where it was funny, especially when Aziz got eliminated by Omos, and then Aziz was trying to eliminate Styles, and then Omos, holding on to AJ's legs while Aziz had AJ's hands trying to pull him out, and all of a sudden somebody kicked Omos in the leg, and he let go of AJ, so AJ got eliminated. Other than that, I thought it was really good, and I was glad to see somebody who I like actually win. So
I definitely want to see Aziz versus Omos.
Yes,
I think that would be freaking awesome. I really want to see that.
It was kind of disappointing though when Omos eliminated Aziz, because Aziz pretty much had his back turned around, and that's when he got eliminated. I actually wanted to see them to go at it for at least a moment before eliminating the other. So,
all right, Crispy Bacon.
No, it was a good match. It was. I always like those battle royals, Royal Rumbles. Something like that. Those are interesting, but yeah, when you have Omos in there, who's 20 feet tall, and it looks like he's 20 feet tall, but I know he's not. It's almost like a disadvantage for everyone. So, but maybe it'll help his, development in WWE.
Oh yeah, I think somewhere along the lines he's definitely gonna get a title push. You might even see at some point Omos versus Big E. That might be actually pretty cool too.
I'd rather see Omos versus Aziz, honestly.
Oh.
What about Big E? What about Big E, Omos, and Aziz?
I don't see Big E in that. I just see Omos and Aziz.
All right, so we have a comment here from Miami who's saying, didn't it look like Omos went through AJ Styles' legs instead of dropping them? I sort of, if I understood that right. But
and don't forget the pizza they had.
Yeah, but Lou is saying, I want to see Big E against Big B. Big E versus Big B. Okay.
Yep.
There you go. So now we can actually go into our next one, which is which is Randy Dragon Viper's favorite match of the night, which is our
There
tag
you go.
team. You have the RK Bro versus the Usos.
And we also got to give a shout out to Randy trying to predict what was going to happen at the end, and he was way off.
Way off, way off. But I can
Don't
tell you
hide.
though, I don't know if you guys got the same feeling though, but when Randy Orton tagged himself in on Matt Riddle, and I believe it was Jey Uso didn't see it, and he's going after Riddle, and then he goes to do the splash off the top. As soon as I saw him climb up, I'm like, oh, he's going to jump off and Orton's going to hit the RKO. I saw it coming. I think every wrestling fan saw it coming. Like, everyone's like, oh, yep, the RKO's coming.
If you look, Jay kind of looked up in that direction to see if Orton was ready. So
Yeah.
he kind of peeked out there. So, yeah, I knew it was coming once he started climbing.
Yep, and then once he did it, bam, RKO, and then you get the 1, 2, 3. However, this one I kind of figured could go either way. I did pick the Usos, but I figured this match could go either way. I actually thought that they were going to give it to the Usos only because of the whole bloodline storyline that is going on right now is the reason why I thought they were going to give it to the Usos. However, I am okay with RK Bro winning it, because they are trying to build them up as this excellent tag team.
Right.
But Big B, what was your overall thoughts on this match?
It was a phenomenal match. I mean, I thought each team put their best effort together. Riddle taking both those super kicks there is actually where I thought the end was going to happen. I thought they were going to go up and do their flying body splash. I thought that's where Orton was going to RKO him. But no, I give this one probably an A- match. I thought it was really good, and glad to see it was one clean. That's something that
Definitely
hasn't happened in a while. So, Viper, got to give it to your team. Keep promoting them.
No, most of these matches tonight were actually one clean. Like the only one that really
Becky Lynch.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say really the only one that wasn't was like Becky Lynch and Charlotte when Becky used the ropes. But other than that, all the matches were actually pretty clean. They were all fair and clean. So Dragon Viper, you can talk about your favorite team, the RK Bro, picking up the victory.
Bro.
It's like I messaged you guys. I would make a better tag team than that Nimrod Riddle. I like the fact that Randy Orton broke a record tonight with his 177th pay-per-view. Match.
I thought it was 17th.
No, it's 177.
No, it's 177.
And
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So he's definitely a veteran when it comes to pay-per-views. But I did say the Usos were going to win, and that was the beginning of the end of RK Bro. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. I'm waiting for that split up. I'm waiting for that split up where Randy Orton finally gets some sense into him and starts realizing how much of a moron that Riddle is, and they split up. So overall, the match itself, it was pretty good, and I love it when Orton does the RKO out of nowhere, especially.
You love it when RK Bro wins. Just a minute.
No, and see, and Randy Orton won the match. That's what I was happy about. Randy Orton actually won the match.
And Riddle.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Riddle.
No, I'm not giving credit to Riddle for nothing. Randy Orton won the match. I was glad to see it. It was a really good match. Would have been better if I give it a B+. I would have given it an A- if Riddle was not involved.
All right. Well, thank you, Viper Bro, for your breakdown there. So thank you very much for Viper Bro. Okay, so Crispy Bacon, what did you think of this?
Oh, it was a good match. I mean, we all knew that the Usos were going to win, but I'm just glad that it was a match instead of lasting maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 10 at the max. As far as length of the match, but RK Bro did well, and Randy Orton set a record, and they're becoming a good tag team.
Yeah, you definitely have to
Hall of
give.
Fame worthy.
Yep, you definitely have to give Randy Orton credit there for his 177th pay-per-view. That is
Wow.
so many pay-per-views, man. That's
Too many to count.
and even John Cena was applauding him. He sent a message out saying congratulations to Randy Orton for your 177th pay-per-view, man. That is so many.
Kane,
If Viper joined their team, we can call them the 3RK Bro team.
Yeah.
I
And
think
then-
not.
And then
RK
we have Imi who's saying Randy is the next Riddle or Riddle's twin. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see it already. Just go with a pair of flip flops and a scooter.
So the next match of the night was the Women's Survivor Series elimination match, which, if you think about it, it actually came down for a while. It actually came down to just Bianca Belair on the Raw side, and she actually was left having to go up against 3 other women, which was Natalya, Shayna, and Toni Storm.
No, Shotzi.
Shotzi, correct? Shotzi, yeah, it was Shotzi.
Wasn't it 4-on-1?
No, it was 3-on-1. It was 3-on-1. It was just
It was
3-on-1.
technically 4,
4
but
on
Sasha got
and then-
counted out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
she
I'm
got
saying. It was
counted out.
4-on-1. And
Yeah.
okay, I'll let you guys speak first because I got something to say about that match.
Okay, no, you can go ahead, say whatever
Okay.
it is you want to say about it.
I thought the referee stopped the count once the wrestler broke playing onto the ropes. Kind of when NFL football crosses the goal line, it's a touchdown. So
Mhm.
how the heck did Sasha Banks get counted out when she jumped in the ring like 3 times? They kept pulling her out.
Because
That's the
she
part
wasn't-
that kind of confused me.
Because
from what I understand, she wasn't fully in the ring.
yeah, your whole body has to be in the ring in order for it to stop. In order for the count to
Are
stop.
we sure? 'Cause I thought
I'm
they
pretty
just had
sure.
to kind of.
But there's
I mean,
times,
whatever. I mean, WWE's already screwed up anyway. So
but
um,
I see what you're saying, because there's times where people go halfway in the ring when they're stepping in
Yeah.
the ropes and the referee breaks the count. She
Yeah.
was halfway in, and
at
yet-
least 2 or 3 different times.
yeah.
Well, anyway, but did you like the match anyways? Because
Oh I mean, outside of that little part, I thought it was good. It looks like they got a Sashi a Banks. What's her face feud? The girl with green hair. Okay.
Shotzi. Like
yeah.
Card.
Yeah, got a little feud going with them. I didn't see the SmackDown or the Raw side really have beef with anybody, so they didn't really start any. You couldn't see any start of the feuds there, or the Raw side. I'm sorry, yeah, Raw with Ripley and them. But I definitely see a Banks and Blackheart feud there. I think.
Yeah, you could definitely see that one coming. I can tell you that. But overall, that match was actually really good. A lot of people are actually talking about that. They were okay with Bianca being the last one. When you think about it, though, like WWE really likes Bianca Belair. Like they really, really like her, and you can tell that they really like her because they're. Go ahead.
So, I'm sorry, Chrissy just kind of reminded me of something. That move that Tori Storm did to eliminate, I think it was Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was her. There was an elimination before that. Man, was that a sweet move. I don't know what she calls it, but man, I was just like, wow.
I'm telling you, there was a lot of bright spots in this matches.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bright spots. And so that's why I thought that this match was really good, like really, really good. But for some reason, when it came down to 3-on-1 with Bianca, for some reason, I just had a feeling that Bianca was going to end up winning it. It just, I don't know.
I thought she was going to start using her hair.
It looked like
Yeah.
it points.
What's up?
It looked like she was gonna do that at some points.
Yeah, so Christy Wilson saying she thinks it's called Storm Zero, but she could be
I don't know.
wrong.
That was a
Yeah,
sweet move.
I don't remember what it's called either. But Dragon Viper, what was your thoughts?
Well,
I didn't really care for the match.
exactly. I stated that Raw only had 2 actual
They had 5.
good female wrestlers in that match, and it was Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, and so I felt bad for Raw, and I still feel bad for Raw because Bianca won it, and I was kind of upset about that whole Sasha Banks thing because I honestly don't think that Bianca would have won if Sasha wasn't counted out. I didn't. I mean, it was good to see. I think SmackDown had more good female talent on that roster. I would have actually gone for SmackDown at that point, but yeah, I didn't. I give the match a C. Honestly, I didn't. Yeah.
So I'm saying SmackDown Divas was the next Pussycat Dolls. All right, so Crispy Bacon, how about you?
It was a good match. I give it a B. But if I were looking at it, like not as a wrestling fan, but just looking at the rosters, as they were, I'd probably say SmackDown had better competitors. But it was a good match overall. Bianca Belair won it, and I think they're trying to, give her another championship opportunity at some point, potentially in the next year, coming up, and it could be at the day 1 pay-per-view or even at the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
I'm having trouble with the R word, but no, it was a good match.
Viper, how can you say out of the 10 women in that ring that 2 of them have talent?
Oh, I was saying that was just Raw. I was only saying the Raw side only had 2 of them that had talent.
Bianca, Ripley.
Liv
Okay.
Morgan
So
and
actually, when you sit there and say that there's only 2 of them on the talented side, well, Dragon Viper just doesn't understand talent. He just looks at somebody and says, "I don't like them because of their character." So he doesn't actually look at their talent inside the ring. He just goes by off their character and stuff.
Bianca, Zelina, and Carmella are so far from talented that
Oh my God!
Yeah, that is crazy.
I can agree with 2 of the 3, but I mean, Liv, Ripley, and Bianca are well above more talent than some of those.
Liv, Bianca, and Rhea are way more talented than Carmella and Zelina, without question. But to come on here and say that Bianca's not talented, that's blasphemous, man.
That's an Isaiah take.
That's freaking nuts to come out and say that Bianca's not talented.
That's why I was going for the SmackDown females, because of the fact that they have more they had way more talent. That didn't.
I can agree with that. I mean, the 5 girls over there, yeah, I would agree with that. SmackDown had more talent, but
although I do want to point out with what Lou said, Battle of the Rainbow Bright Hairs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Between Banks and Shotzi.
Yeah.
Almost like troll dolls, with
Banks
their
and
colored hair.
But now we come to that main event to where this is where we all thought things was going to happen. And the only reason I'm saying that is because they ended up switching it. It was supposed to be the opener, then they switched it back to the main event. So once they did that, I was like, you know what? I was like, somebody's coming back. I thought, but this is the thing, because they were mentioning The Rock all night. B, B, Brock Lesnar's name was also dropped. You know,
Yeah.
when they're like, so Brock Lesnar's no longer suspended, and he's like, I don't know, ask Adam Pearce. So at that point, I'm like, Brock, maybe The Rock. You know, I was like,
They had that egg.
yeah, the egg thing. I was like, somebody's coming back. And then once Roman won it, I was like sitting there. And I'm like, okay, who's coming out?
No
Who's
one.
coming out? Who's coming out?
How
And
about
then
disappointment.
they go, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm like, oh man. I was like, I thought somebody was coming
But
out.
we all knew that was going to happen. I mean, we had a feeling it would. They're just doing that to promote his movie.
Yeah, but they normally don't promote it that hard and not something come up. And when they were walking out, it's like, okay, normally they don't, lately, I should say, they normally don't show the winner leaving the ring. So I thought maybe, I think, Chris, you said it in the chat, or maybe Viper did, that Rock, if he was to appear, it would have been via satellite,
Yeah. I would've-
which maybe I thought was going to happen, you know, when they were walking out. And then they closed it off. I'm just like, you know, so they, you know, for that, I got to give them an A for leaving at least me hanging, thinking that something was going to happen, and it didn't. You know,
see,
It tricked a lot of people. It tricked
Well,
a heck of a lot of people.
I thought The Rock was actually going to show up, and normally I wouldn't think something like that, but I actually thought The Rock was going to show up at least, you know, to talk or something, because for one, you know, promote his new movie. For two, because 25 years of The Rock, and so, you know, you'd think they'd have something, and there was even a rumor of The Undertaker that was supposed to come out and talk, and he didn't. So
Yeah, well, let's not.
so
let's,
Lou's asking about the egg.
It's from
we're talking
his,
about.
It's
from
from his new movie. Yeah, it's the Cleopatra. It's the Cleopatra egg. And
Yeah, so Vince, you know, if you must have seen it, because Vince brought the egg out, everybody's cheering, and then
Mhm.
you know he's in the office with Roman, and that's talking about the egg, who gave it to him. You know, Rock gave it to him. Worth $10 million, and Roman, I thought was the best line of the night.
$100 million egg.
$100 million, and I thought Roman had the best line after that. Well, it sounds like the size of my next contract, and walks away. You know, and then the egg ended up disappearing. So we'll see where that goes.
Which keep in mind though too that, you know, Vince sent Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville around to kind of interview everybody, but then at the end said, if we don't find it, everybody's showing up tomorrow on Raw. So is somebody showing up tomorrow on Raw now, because they have
Brock
all the superstars coming there? So now is somebody going to show up tomorrow night?
Brock Lesnar.
Because they kind of left everybody hanging as that cliffhanger tonight, being like, well, something's going on here. Somebody's coming back, but who is it? Who is coming back? Is it The Rock? Is it Brock Lesnar? Who is it? And so we don't know who's coming back yet. But it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to happen tomorrow. Because
I don't know why Brock would come back, and they're promoting the movie and stuff. So I mean, it's got to do something with the movie, Rock, or the guy that steals I don't know the actor's name in the movie.
But see, Brock and Roman Reigns are together. So, and Brock is Roman's cousin. So why not?
Yeah, but they
You're
do
right.
but they keep dropping Brock's name though too. They're dropping Brock. They're dropping Rock.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. That's who it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they have.
I don't know. They definitely teased something really strong, and if they flop on this one, I mean, it could really devastate WWE.
Raw's going to be in New York tomorrow, right? They usually do a back-to-back.
Yeah, they typically do it back, or they do it close to New York, so maybe New Jersey or something, or.
So yeah, maybe Rock will come tomorrow night.
Well, I don't know, unless it's like via satellite, like Dragon Viper was saying, or somebody was saying, because of the simple fact that supposedly he's in Australia right now shooting a movie or doing something over there in Australia. So it would have to be satellite. But
And it's early there right now. So.
But if they're also talking about, you know, potentially Brock Lesnar, it could be Lesnar too. It It could be.
Or both. Could be both.
Mm.
Could have. I mean,
Yeah, we
honestly, it could be anybody. I mean, we could all play investigator right now. I mean,
The
know, there's
Usos
been
brothers. The Usos
Yeah.
brother.
yeah, the Usos brother. I
Ooh.
mean, Bray Wyatt. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
because I was gonna say there was actually speculation today saying since Bray wasn't showing up at AEW, he didn't show up in Impact. People were saying maybe that means Bray Wyatt's coming back to WWE, and so right now they're kind of leaving the door open and trying to grow to it to where eventually he's gonna come back. And
Bailey. I mean,
yeah, it could
Who's
also
back
be
in
that.
SmackDown?
But supposedly, Wyatt and Braun have been seen hanging out and talking about some wrestling stuff going on. So, could we end up seeing them both come back to WWE as
God, would that be
some
awesome?
kind of tag
It
team or
would.
something like that?
I heard something about those two wanting to form their own wrestling organization.
Well, no, it was just a speculation
Oh, yeah,
because
that's what I mean. Yeah.
because somebody asked him a question about it, and Braun's like, "Oh, well, we're definitely working hard," and so they
Yeah.
took it as oh, they're working hard. That means they're working on and it's like, no, that doesn't mean they're working on starting a promotion. I'm just saying that you could potentially see them both come back. You could.
yeah,
To be
yeah. I know the whole egg thing. Kind of, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, they don't drop the ball on this one. So.
Yeah, at least play it out a little bit, other than.
Well, I mean, give us an answer. Just don't be like, "Oh, we found the egg, and we don't know who took it."
Give it to the end of the night tomorrow.
William's saying he'll see Braun Strowman on Saturday, so he'll ask him on
Ooh.
Saturday.
Oh,
There you go.
nice.
Blink once if you're going back to WWE.
So what about the main event? Because it kind of
Yeah.
I know.
What about the egg?
steered.
It was, yeah. We kind of steered away from that a little bit. The main event was good. This was kind of like another one to where I get why they had Roman win it, but even though he didn't need to because his character's already so over that Big E, I thought as champion, needed this just a little bit more because Roman is already there. He's already strong enough. And so this is one that I'm like, if Big E wins, that's completely fine because he needs this win. He needs it. But Dragon Viper, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't care for it.
course.
No, I really didn't. I mean, it was okay. Once again, Roman, you just, his face just screams, punch me. I want to punch him. I can't stand him. So I didn't care that Roman won. I didn't care really about the match. All I'm just gonna say about that is it was okay. I give it a D.
What?
Wow.
So yeah, that's all I got because it's Roman and Roman is stupid.
Oh,
and
cut his
overrated.
mic. God. Oh. One of these days we're gonna have to break down what Randy, Viper, bro, whatever we want to call him these days. We need to break down what his ideal pay-per-view would be or wrestling card. I mean,
Extreme rules, anything goes, different types of matches, and it would have to include some people that I actually like, unlike people like Reigns and Zayn and.
I thought you didn't like Reigns.
That's what I'm saying. Where they're not in it. The people that I don't like.
Chris,
I
pull
don't
up Lou's last comment. That was
My
funny.
computer's frozen. I don't know what it says.
I want
Okay.
you're going to acknowledge the tribal chief. Acknowledge him.
No, Lou's last comment said if Viper punches Roman can I pick his funeral music?
Roman's funeral music? Sure, go ahead.
No, I think she's talking about your funeral music, I think.
No, that would
Acknowledge.
be Brock.
Acknowledge him. Shut up. Cut his mic.
No,
Cut his mic.
I think it definitely was a good match. I'm glad it was ended in a no interference from anybody. I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
I really thought. I mean, I kind of figured Roman was going to win, but I started thinking maybe Big E was going to win because he took 5 Superman punches. He did his big ending a couple of times. So I mean, overall, I'm glad it ended in no interference. But I think Ace, you said it best. I don't think Roman needed it. I think it would have been better if he would have lost because the Usos lost, so now they can go back and be like, dude, we lost to SummerSlam. We need to recoup here. What's going on? You guys didn't believe in us, blah, blah, blah. Big E, I think, really needed – I think Big E needed it more than Roman did. So, but overall, I thought it was a good match.
Well, this is like I was saying, this is where it came down to where I thought, maybe the person, if somebody was returning – I thought this could have not just the end of the match, but I thought that maybe somehow, the Usos were going to get involved and then the person returning was going to return and then interfere in the match also. But it didn't need to because the match was still good enough without it.
Yep. No, it was. It was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what Viper says.
You're rolling your eyes. I know you're rolling your eyes, but I'll tell you what, it was a good match. It was a good match. Okay, roll your eyes if you want.
Big E was in it. That's it. Nothing else was good.
Roll your eyes if you want.
I thought you liked him, just not with the New Day.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was good with Big E.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic. He's done. He's done. Cut it. Cut it. He's done. Thank you.
Viper, I don't know what we're gonna do with you some days. I think we need to do a show where it's Isaiah and Viper, and they just talk nonsense and
nonsense.
Oh yeah.
You will embrace the vision.
No, I will not acknowledge I will not acknowledge or embrace anything.
Acknowledge me. And Big B just jumped off here. Well, anyway, so that was actually the end of Survivor Series. Overall, I thought that Survivor Series was actually pretty good, even though there wasn't really a lot of build-up to it. I still thought that it actually ended up being a good Survivor Series. So with that, we'll go around the room one more time, just kind of give our final thoughts. So Crispy Bacon, I'll start with you. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts.
Oh no, it's a good pay-per-view. Sadly, it's the last one of 2021, and we're gonna have to wait not too far, into the new year. But
don't they got one next month?
No, this was the final one until January 1st.
Oh, really?
January is the next one.
They took out
that's why.
TLC. They took out TLC.
That's why. Okay.
But no, it was a good pay-per-view, and we'll be back next week to recap, Raw and SmackDown.
And then Dragon Viper. How about you?
So just want to say, I give this pay-per-view a C-, just saying. And, just want to thank everybody for watching and, enjoy all the comments and I'm glad there's some people on my side on things and
not many.
I hope everybody has a great night.
All right. And then Big B, who acknowledges the tribal chief, who understands because he embraces the vision that I've set.
Well, I don't embrace the vision, but I gotta say that this Roman Reigns character definitely, this Roman Reigns was kind of one of my favorites. Kind of seeing, where they go. Yes, I wish he would drop the title because having it for 400 plus days is kind of getting old. But outside of that, I thought the pay-per-view was good. I give it a high B, A-, no matter what Viper says. So I thought it was a really good one. Like I said, it left me hanging at the end there, so I'm kind of impressed with that because normally they don't shock me too many times. We kind of know what's going to happen, but they kind of left some Easter eggs out there, for us. So
Yeah,
Was that your Roman Reigns entrance, Ace?
that was my.
Oh,
Yes, it was. It was. But you know what? That was definitely something that we all need to embrace the vision. Definitely one thing. Acknowledge the tribal chief. And I need to go out and find some of that attire that Seth Rollins has. And I need to pick some of that up. And then when I make my entrances at work, I need to wear it like his suits and everything else. I wonder, it really makes me wonder what my bosses would say at the main office if I show up for like a manager's meeting. I show up in one of his in one of those suits.
I bet you they would send you to get drug tested really quick.
They would laugh at you like I do. So
yeah. Drag Viper plays the entrance music in the background. Just come out.
Yeah, I'll make sure to come out with the one glove and then the suit on and.
even your wife say no, okay?
No, she would never let me wear one of those suits. Even
I don't know. I think Amy would be in for it. I think she would be digging it. She let him dress up as Vanilla Ice one year. So
yeah, it was really cool though. It was really cool. It was really fun. We have another talent show at work that's coming up here soon. We don't know the date yet, but I will have another character. I haven't decided who yet, but who knows? I might dress up as Seth Rollins. I might dress up as Seth Rollins.
that would be sweet.
And I might be doing Embrace the Vision. But anyways, with that is the end of the show. So I hope that everybody had another fantastic episode of Between the Ropes. You enjoyed us. And then, of course, you can catch us next week for another episode of Between the Ropes. And tomorrow night is Four Bros Radio. So have a great night, and we will see you next Sunday for another episode of Between the Ropes.
You're going to have to get it because I'm frozen.